thank you all for standing up. This is so important. Today we are gathering to honor John Lewis on the 5th anniversary of his death. He was committed to democracy and the ongoing struggle forward for a more just and compassionate society. We can honor him by following his example. Our founders extolled Republican virtue and believed it was a prerequisite for the continuing success of our democracy. Character and integrity mattered. George Washington said, virtue or morality is the necessary spring of popular government. The disputed presidential election of 1800 was decided by state votes in the House of Representatives. As you probably know, Alexander Hamilton and Thomas Jefferson were dramatically different in their views of our country. And they were the leaders of the two warring political parties of that time. Yet Hamilton wrote several letters to the New York delegation beseeching them not to vote for Burr, a fellow New Yorker and a previous ally. I quote from those letters. Mr. Jefferson, though too revolutionary in his notions, is yet a lover of liberty and will be desirous of something like orderly government. Mr. Burr loves nothing but himself, thinks of nothing but his own aggrandizement.
Do we know anyone like that?
And will be content with nothing short of permanent power. As I said, our founders placed the good of our nation above party and required men of Republican virtue to lead it. In my lifetime, John Lewis is one of the finest examples of this trait that I have ever encountered. His integrity and courage should be models for all who cherish democracy and human decency. His notion of good trouble is very much needed today. He was a dynamic leader of the civil rights movement and later served for 33 years as the Georgia 5th District representative in the House of Representatives. He was known as the conscience of the Congress. The final words of his speech during the March on Washington was, "Wake up, America." He also exhorted us, get in good trouble, necessary trouble, and help redeem the soul of America. We must have the courage to stand up to a president who has said, if you go after me, I'm coming after you. And since returning to office, he has utilized the powers of his office to penalize and cower opponents and allies alike. Tyrants are bullies. On the 4th of July, the president's message included these words, referring to Democrats who voted against his big, beautiful bill. They wouldn't vote only because they hate Trump. But I hate them too, you know that? I really do. I hate them. I can't stand them because I really believe they hate our country, if you want to know the truth. They do not hate the country. They dare to disagree and oppose Trump. He is not the country. He is only a man and not an admirable one. As for the big, beautiful bill, tariffs, impounding of funds, ICE abuse, dismantling of USAID and DEI, the attacks on education and knowledge itself, we are just beginning to see its ugly impact. We must stand up against a government where your ethnicity, skin color, lack of wealth, immigration status, and religion can relegate you to abuse and second-class citizenship, or even removal of your citizenship and the right to vote. We stand up to a president who divides us and garners support by ramping up fears of invasion, replacement, and outright criminal attacks. Fear is being used to motivate allegiance. Those who disagree with him are enemies who hate America. Some of his admirers love this tough guy image and feel it vents their grievances. We must stand up to political rhetoric which demeans one's person or ideas and threatens us with punches in the face, hanging, execution, tar and feathering, or deportation. This recreates the atmosphere where you can expect to be beaten and concussed for standing up for voting rights as young John Lewis did in Selma. Please listen to more words from John Lewis. Ours is not the struggle of one day, 1 week, or 1 year. Ours is not the struggle of one judicial appointment or presidential term. Ours is the struggle of a lifetime, or maybe even many lifetimes. And each one of us in every generation must do our part. And lastly, he said, when you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, you have to speak up. You have to say something. Yeah. You have to do something. That last quote was spoken at the impeachment trial of President Donald J. Trump. It's John Lewis's voice striving for Republican virtue. Thank you all for listening.
Bravo.